iPad Pro M4 Apple Pencil Pro.
iPad is probably the best tablet on the market in almost every measurable metric. This thing uses the same M series chips Apple puts inside the laptops, like the M1 and the M2, for example, and also arguably some of the best screens you're going to find on any tablet on the market. You see, I think with the iPad, there is a huge problem because every single time Apple releases a new iPad, Apple talks about how much more powerful the new chip is when compared to the previous generation. I don't think power has been an issue with the iPad, in my opinion, because even an iPad Pro from 2022 or even 2018 is still capable today in 2024. And the biggest problem with the iPad, in my opinion, comes down to the software, namely iPad OS. So Apple's last iPad Pro update was way back in 2022. That is a very, very long time in terms of computers. So yesterday, Apple dropped brand new iPads, namely the iPad Air and iPad Pro. The one that I want to talk about is the brand new iPad Pro because I think it fits more of my needs, at least so I hope. Anyway, so the iPad Pro comes in two flavors. You get it in 11-inch, but also now in 13-inch. It used to be 12.9. So 12.9, 13-inch, not a huge difference, but you get a slightly bigger screen. Apple says this is their thinnest ever device. In fact, this thing is thinner than my old school iPod. I think this is a mini or is this a nano? I have no idea. Look how thin that is. The brand new iPad Pros are actually thinner than that. That's insane. I don't know if there's a lot of pros out there asking for a thinner iPad though, because I think it probably makes more sense for a pro to have a slightly thicker machine if it means better battery life and also better thermals and cooling. Apple is obsessed with making everything as thin as possible. So for this generation of iPads, Apple aimed for portability and performance, but more about the performance part a little bit later. Holding an iPad in your hand for a very long time can get quite heavy real quick, especially the bigger versions like the 13-inch. The 11-inch is usually more portable, but even then, the lighter it is, the better. So I hope that we're not going to get bend gate, like we had back with the iPhone 6 or 7, if I remember back in the day. But hopefully we're not going to get that issue again with the brand new iPads. Let's now turn our attention to the crazy screen on the brand new iPad. So the iPad Pro now comes with an OLED screen. Apple's calling this Ultra Retina XDR display. It's the first time Apple has put an OLED screen in any of their iPads, and from what I've seen, this thing looks absolutely beautiful. OLEDs are not known for being super bright, so Apple solved this problem by using technology they're calling tandem OLED. So what Apple has done is they've literally stacked two OLED screens together. It's kind of crazy. It's like a screen sandwich. The idea is to increase brightness, and they're calling this technology tandem OLED. So the brand new screens can now emit up to 1000 nits of sustained brightness or up to 1600 nits in peak brightness. That's going to be absolutely crazy for watching HDR content, but most importantly, when using your iPad outside in bright sunlight conditions. Tech to run these two displays simultaneously must be absolutely crazy. In fact, Apple had to make a special display driver to control and run these two screens. Alright, so for the first time on the iPad, Apple's offering something they're calling textured nano glass. This basically turns your glossy screen into, into matte. For some people that like that, it takes away reflections and and glare. Personally, for me, I don't think I'm going to be going for that option. But to get this option, you need to get an iPad with either 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte storage option. It's not available for lesser iPads. Which is kind of crazy. I'm kind of curious what the screen's going to feel like. So will the coating or the nano textured glass make the iPad feel more like paper? And will colors look as rich as they do with the glossy screen? And will it be as bright as the glossy screen? And also, will the image be as sharp? I guess time will tell. Let's talk about power. So like I was saying earlier, power isn't really an issue for the iPad. The iPad from 2022 with the M2 chip is as powerful then as it is right now. This year, Apple completely skipped the M3 and decided to go straight to the M4. The iPads are the first Apple devices to actually have the new M4 chip in them. I mean, the M3 literally came out last November or something. So Apple says the new M4 chip offers major performance enhancements over the M2, up to 50% more performance in the CPU department. There's also a more advanced GPU as well. For those of you guys who like to play games or run absolutely demanding, programs like 3D, animations and stuff like that, and Final Cut Pro editing. So the GPU is even more powerful now than obviously it was in the previous iPad. So Apple says that this new M4 chip has the most powerful neural engine on any chip on any device. This new neural engine can do 38 trillion operations per second. That's just like, it's mad. So I didn't really talk much about why the 38 trillion operations a second is important, but I'm guessing this year, WWDC, we're gonna hear crazy stuff about AI, and this iPad is absolutely ready for that. So we can't talk about the iPad Pro without talking about accessories. And when I say accessories, I mean the brand new Apple Pencil Pro. This thing looks exactly the same as previous iPad pencils. Except this time it's got an Apple Pencil Pro inscription on the side. The only changes you're gonna see are gonna be inside. So there's a whole brand new sensor on the Apple Pencil, which you can squeeze with your forefinger and your thumb for sensing pressure. There's also a gyro inside Apple Pencil that can determine if you're turning a pencil or not. So you can use that turning motion to do more interesting things with creative software. So the Apple Pencil now has custom feedback, which means you can literally feel what you're doing with your Apple Pencil on your iPad screen. That is absolutely cool. It adds an interesting dimension to creativity on your iPad. So when you're drawing, when you're dragging things, when they're snapping into place, you can feel that now through the haptic feedback on your Apple Pencil. One of my favorite features of the Apple Pencil is the Find My, because I've lost so many pencils in the past. Sadly, I will never find them again because they're lost forever. But now the Apple Pencil has built-in Find My. So if you misplace it, you can use your phone, your iPad, or your laptop to locate where it is. Okay, one thing you should keep in mind though is that the brand new Apple Pencils are only compatible with the brand new iPad Pros and the iPad Air. So any older iPads, I'm sorry, the new Apple Pencil Pro will not work with them, which is quite sad. Apple, come on, man. Why? Give me a good reason why. Talking about accessories, there's also the brand new Magic Keyboard. This thing looks absolutely amazing. It looks like a MacBook. The keyboard looks like a MacBook. It's all metal now, and the trackpad is also larger and has haptic feedback. Now it seems like Apple is putting haptics in almost everything. Obviously the Apple Pencil, but now the trackpad as well. And what I like most about the new Apple Magic Keyboard is the fact that it now has function keys. There's a row of function keys on top of the keyboard. Absolutely awesome, and I love that. So the new Magic Keyboard is thinner and lighter than previous Apple Magic Keyboards. So the new Magic Keyboard connects to your iPad, obviously magnetically through the smart connector for a more seamless integration, Apple says. I just love the floating design of the keyboard and the iPad. I think that looks absolutely amazing. So the brand new iPad also has a brand new camera. The camera has kind of changed a little bit. You no longer have the ultra wide camera. You only have the wide camera instead. To be honest, I don't really know that many people using the ultra wide camera to take photos and videos, so it probably makes sense just to keep the wide camera. Adaptive True Tone Flash. This flash, along with AI, lets you take photos of your documents and receipts and eliminates the shadows, because previously when you took a photo of your receipt or your document, the iPad casts a shadow on your document, which kind of sucks. So now AI and this adaptive true tone technology eliminates shadows. Which is, I guess that's cool for those of you guys out there taking photos of your receipts. I mean, I'm one of those people, so. My favorite thing about the new camera is the fact that it's no longer on the portrait end of the iPad, it's more on the landscape. So when you're now doing FaceTime calls with people, you will be able to make proper eye contact now with the camera as opposed to looking to the side like you did previously. You get Thunderbolt 3 connectivity and USB 4 on the brand new iPads. Obviously, this is a key thing for transferring data from your iPad to drives. One key thing that I really love about the new iPad is the fact that you can now finally edit in Final Cut Pro from an external hard drive. Previously, you couldn't do that. You had to have the files on the iPad to edit. But I'm happy to hear that on the new iPad Pros, you can edit from an external hard drive. Hallelujah. Thank you. Because it means you can buy a lower capacity iPad and just offload the edit files on the drive. You get Wi-Fi 6E, but if you choose the cellular option, you can get it comes with 5G as well. I'm just gonna get a Wi-Fi option for me. But I'm curious what Apple's gonna do with iPadOS at WWDC next month. Hopefully when I get more pro features, hopefully the iPad is gonna become more pro. Hopefully pro apps on iPad are actually gonna be pro in functionality, not just by name. Namely, Final Cut Pro. What the hell? Why is Final Cut on iPad a cut down version of Final Cut from the desktop. Makes no sense. It's running the same chip. It's more than powerful enough. Give us the full fat version of Final Cut Pro on the iPad, please, Apple, and let's have Pro apps run on a Pro device, not just by name but by functionality as well. So I guess all I gotta do now is make a decision on which iPad I'm gonna get. Probably gonna get the 11-inch version in space black or space gray, wherever it is, to match my laptop. But I don't know, I've usually always had the 13-inch version, so, or the 12.9. I might get the 13 again. We'll see. But I think the 11-inch is a lot more portable. Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, let me know which iPad you guys are going to get for yourselves. If you guys are going to get one, what color, what size in terms of storage you're going to get, or if you're going to get the nano texture display on your iPad. Let me know in the comments below. And I guess I'll catch you in the next video. Subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy. Peace out. I need to go eat because I'm hungry.